Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Deep Dive. Hope you're enjoying your weekend. Hope you're enjoying this market environment we are in. The last week, let's see, it's 4/3/22 right now. Last week has definitely been a little rough on breakouts, but before that, it was amazing. Now, today, we are going to see what we can learn from a utility company that had a really nice run in the 1990s, AES. Diversified utilities. They own and operate power plants to generate and sell power to customers, such as utilities, industrial users, and other intermediaries. They were formerly known as Applied Energy Sciences, which is why it's AES. They were incorporated in 1981, so they've been around for a long time. They're headquartered in Virginia. And it's a little bit different this time in that we are getting into a stock that has already had a very decent run. If you go from these lows all the way to the highs, it's like 1,500%, which is pretty awesome. Now, if you go just from like in here, you're looking at like a 500% run. And so this is the stock we're going to look at for a run up, and it's not our normal setup because normally we look at stocks that have kind of had long consolidation periods where they've gone sideways or they've been just kind of beaten down for a while, but their earnings are starting to look better and better. But with this stock, obviously it's had a really nice run. Now, this is in the late 90s, 1998, or in August of 1998 here. So obviously the stock market is having a huge bull run. I don't know what these guys did if they if they put like .com into their name or something like that, but they are going to have another great run that we're going to see if we can see some good setups. So just looking at this stock chart, our ADR, which is right here, we're looking at 8, 7, 5, 6, 7, 5. So this is a decently volatile stock. The volume is in the millions. It looks like average volume is around 2 million, so definitely has some liquidity in it. Just looking at setup wise, this was a pretty nice setup here. Just had this great run here, 176% higher, and it went sideways for about 50 bars, 70 days, and then it just broke out here. This was the breakout day. It thrust up through the moving average, through the 50 MA, and then it had another nice, 42% run in a few weeks, it's a pretty good trade. I really like how it was surfing the 65 EMA just right to the tick, basically, just kind of nice and orderly. That's always a good sign. It was higher lows during this whole time, which was really nice. I guess this would be a little bit concerning, all this volume that was coming in here on the sell-off. That would definitely be a little bit weird to me. I'd be like, well, that's a little concerning, but low volume here, low volume in here, just exactly what you want to see in a stock. So this is where we're starting. Let's go from here, and we'll see what we can learn. This is a utilities company, so often these are not great trades, but could be different. Maybe they put .com in their name or something. And I just also want to say that this breakout here is just picture perfect. This is exactly what you want to see. You want to see a breakout like this. It's called like a wedge pop, which I think Oliver Keel or something like that coined the term. But it's a pop through the MAs, and that's what goes. And it had a false one here too. You can see it got really tight in here, and then it broke out. It tried to get above the 50, and it kind of did. So if we were trading this probably would have been a loss. Probably would have taken a loss there, and then would have had to take another one. This actually looks better. This is much tighter. So I don't know. I'm going to be ready for some trickery where we have a breakout that looks really good, and then we have another breakout that doesn't look as good, but that second one is going to be the one to take. So we'll see if that pattern repeats itself. Whole stock market, the SPY is down here, is going down. So let's go. Let's see what we got. So immediately we kind of have this double bottom forming with a high around $5. It's not a usual pattern we would take. Yeah, definitely not. Had a big volume down day. And I should also say, because it's the 90s, we don't really have access to any news or earnings data, which is kind of a bummer. Consolidating right around that 200. Now dipping lower. All right. This looks good. Just nice little higher lows here. It's below all these moving averages though, so I'd really like to see it move up through that before we take any setups. And it is going to. I always feel like this is a bit of a cheap play because we know that this thing's going to blast off. But in real life, would you take this little... No way. You wouldn't. You'd be like, no, this is weak. All these moving averages above, this would not be a good crisp play for sure. But we know that it's going to have a good run, so it normally is a good play, which is why I usually skip it. All right, now we're talking. All right, we broke out above that 5 area with decently high volume, so that's definitely a little bit of a breakout, but it's after a run-up of 25%, so that normally would be a pretty low probability play. Not that it can't work, it can, but yeah, I wouldn't want to jump in. Just kind of drifting higher here. And that is going to new highs. Okay, good. We're getting some sideways action. Need a couple more days. All right, it tried to break out there on higher volume and got stuffed down below the 10. So technically, this should go down to the 20. We should see it hit the 20 here. Oh, it popped up. There's just some buying. There is some buying in this. They just don't want it to go down to the 20. I really want it to hit the 20, though. Tried to break out again and got stuffed. All right. We didn't hit the 20, but we were looking good at this point. We got 11 bars. 11, 12 bars, that's almost like a minimum. That's right at the minimum for what a flag should be. We've had 3 false breakouts higher here and no undercut of the lows to really get those false breakouts out of its system. But I'm going to put a buy order at like 670. There we go. We hit the 20. All right. I feel much better about the buy order. Now it's going to be at 660. Good stuff. All right. Let's get a couple bars under there. All right. We're looking really good. Let's put our buy order at 640. All right. We're in. And this is pretty picture perfect. The one thing it doesn't have is higher lows through this period. It does have higher lows in this last few days. So this was probably on the hourly, a really good looking little wedge. So yeah, we're looking good. The volume is not really there, which is concerning. That's going to make me want to exit early. So I'm definitely going to get rid of 50% at 677 or so, right below these highs. These highs are 675. So 674, let's get rid of 50% and hope we get there. All right, we got there on the 3rd day. Very nice. So we're out of half. Let's see, what did we get at? We got at 640. We got out at 670. So we got 35 cents there, 34 cents. And what was our risk? I didn't really talk about our risk, but our risk was probably a little bit into this bullish bar here. Not quite at the lows, but maybe like 611. So let's say 1R for that first 50%. And we're just trailing it now with the 20. It seems to like the 20 a little bit better than the 10. So let's trail it with the 20. Yeah, baby. That was a very nice little run up here. And if you were Pradeep, you'd be just cashing out of the whole thing. But we're going for the big win, and we're just gonna hold it. Made new highs, got stuffed. Volume is really not there on this run up, which is a little concerning. But it's holding so far. Bounced off the 10. Ooh. All right, we would have been out here. It closed below the 20 at 664. So 25 cents on that last, so a little bit less than 1R. So that was probably a 0.9R trade. And max we could have gotten out of that was, let's see, the highs were 755. I mean, when you have a really big down bar like this, it just kind of wrecks your R because, we were hoping it maybe went sideways for a little bit longer and that 20 caught up. But yeah, 755 was kind of the max that we could have gotten. So 640, that was $1.10 on like 30-cent risk, I said. So we were looking at like a 3.5R on that last piece, and we ended up taking like around a 1R. Feels bad. Feels really bad. We could have prevented that by putting our stop maybe underneath this breakout, or not breakout, but a hard bounce over the from the 10. That would have saved us a little bit of money. Definitely would have gotten us closer to that 3.5 max, but I haven't really been able to figure out how to finagle that. When you're trailing it and you're going for, like, we want this to go to 9, but you have this really big down washout day, and it could go to 9 now. But you just got to get out because, it could go down to 6. We could be at 6 in the next couple days. So let's see. Let's see what happens. Yeah, big bounce from it. Tried to break out there, came back into range. And we're making another little wedge here. We're getting tight. Let's see. 13 bars. So, yeah, I'm buying a breakout over 750 for sure. But let's see what it does. Oh, super tight. Okay, coming back down to the 20. All right. All right, my buy is at 730 now. And we have higher lows in here. This is looking good. Volume is very low. Oh, 730. All right, we would have probably gotten in there. It opened at 728, high at 731, and then closed down at 715. So if we go, 730 was our entry. If we go below 690, 40-cent risk, we're going to get out. Yeah, we got out. So we got, that pretty much canceled out our other trade. So, all right, we're even right now. Not a great start. But we do have this nice, long, this kind of nice wedge here. And like I said, we're going to be watching out for this situation where we get a very nice breakout and then we get a not so nice breakout. So I'm going to put another buy order at 730. If we get over there, I want to get in. All right, we're in. This was definitely not as good looking as this nice little higher lows, tiny wedge. But we are in now. We had a fake out there. Let's hold it for a few days and see what we can get out of it. That's good. All right, we're going sideways at the high. Are we going to give the high a shot? We've been holding 3 days now, so we're looking to get out of half here. Let's see, what did we get in at? We get on it at 730, and we're at 758. We're risking, let's go down to the low of this big bar, low of 7. So let's risk 30 cents. So we've got maybe a 7.5, a quarter of an R in profits here. This tight little range could go up, could go down. We don't know. We're going to bet on up, though. So I'm going to give it one more day. It could be disastrous. To be safe, we'd get out of half at the open of the next day. But we're just going to go for it. Oh, super tight. The regular market is going up, which is a good sign. Yeah, we're getting rid of half at the close of the next day. That's for sure. All right, we broke down lower. We closed at 744. So on our first part, we got a 0.5 R winner on 50%. And we're going to put our stop below this low. We're going to move it up to 719 instead of 7. So now we are only risking 11 cents on that last piece. With stock. 'Tis a tricky one. Yes. All right. Well, at least we got 50% on. Let's see if we can trail it with the... should we trail it with the 10 instead? It seems like the 10 might be... it's just a choppy mess in here. But let's see... ooh. Yikes. All right. We're definitely getting out at that bar. Closed at 729. So we got out break even. So on our second trade, we're 0.5 R positive on the second trade. So not making huge amounts of money here. We're definitely just getting a grinding environment, which is not really super following through. So, let's look and see where is it making the best runs from? It's making the best runs from underneath the moving averages when it pulls back. So we had underneath the moving average here. It had kind of a decent run that we got a little piece of. Here we had a decent run. Definitely not breaking out to new highs. Breaking out to new highs is not working so far. All right, coming down. Bouncing off the 50. First time it's hitting the 50 since way back here, since it broke out above that. Man, that looks good. That looks really good. All right. We're going to buy at 7... 740. We're going to buy. Well, what's the high of this bar? The high of that bar is 733. We're buying at 737. Didn't get there. Okay. Still 737. Excuse me. This is a nice this is a nice little tight consolidation there. So 735 is the buy, I think. The whole market is going sideways, which is very nice. All right, we're in 735. Stop below this bar, low of 701. We got all these moving averages in the way. So if it gets down to 701, definitely don't want to be in it. So 34-cent risk. Yeah, we are looking good. Let's hold it for a couple days more. Too bad. Now, if the pattern plays out, it's going right back down to our entry. But not this time. This time, it's showing some strength. So we're going to get out of half at 7. Let's see. 775. We're going to get out of half, which would be a 40-cent. That's a 1-hour winner. Nope. It definitely looks strong. There we go. All right. High, 790. All right. So we got 775. That's 40 cents. So like 1.3 R on our first 50%. That's pretty decent. We're going to just hold this last part, and I'm going to trail it with the 50 moving average because it seems to be respecting the 50 moving average. Normally wouldn't do this. Normally would trail it with the 10 or 20, but it seems to really like this 50, and maybe we're just going to get a grind higher here. It's a utilities company. All right, we are looking really good. Yeah, we would have gotten out there. That would have broken the 20. Man, it's going sideways. All right, we're breaking that. Now we're coming back down to the 50. Oh gosh. We should have gotten out. Should have gotten out here. 775. We closed at 774. That would have been the good entry. Except we got out at 720. So small loss in that last piece. Let's see, if like a 15-cent loss, so like 0.5 R. So I don't know. We got plus 0.8 R on that. So we're total right now. We're at 1.3 R total in wins. Not super impressive, but it's breaking the 50 for the first time in so long. You know, I mean, this is and breaking the 65. So let's keep watching. Stupid utilities, stupid bouncing utilities. Damn you, utilities. I tried to give you more room, and this is what you do to me. Oh my gosh. It really wasn't an entry here. I mean, it just came back down to the 65 and bounced from there. It really was not an entry. So, oh my gosh. That just feels bad, man. That feels so bad. All right. Wow. It is pulling in hard. This is getting kind of wild. All right, back down to the 50. It's had a lot of selling off here, but you'll notice this whole sell-off, no volume in this whatsoever, which is amazing. That would have me salivating. So let's see if we can get some higher lows and okay, nice little bounce off the 50 there. We got a potential for a wedge pop. Let's hope it goes sideways a couple more days, and then let's buy at like 880. All right, we would have been in, I think, at this high, 883. So let's put our stop below this low at 842. And then we had a pop up to the high of 911. So 880, 842, we're risking 38 cents. Let's hope that this pop up, because this is technically the breakout day on higher volume, and it failed. Yeah, all right, we got stopped out. All right, -1 R. We are now at 0.3 R winning. Good job. All right, but overall, this is pretty productive. We're looking at something like this, you know, extend to the right. We're looking at something like that. We got higher lows. So let's definitely buy a breakout over this wedge, wherever this wedge is going to be. I'm guessing it's going to be at 905 or so, but let's buy a breakout over that wedge. All right, so man, we're in the next day. So what am I learning from this? I'm learning from this that my stops are always too close, that I always choose the wrong moving average to trail it with. Seems to like the 50 right now. So I don't know. Let's try again. We're going to trail it with the 50. I am committed to getting a big winner in this guy. And our stop, let's see, we got in maybe around like 9. Let's say 9 we got in. And our stop is going to be down at 850. Let's see, the low of this bar is 853, so 850 is perfect. We're risking 50 cents. See what we can do. Man, just does not like breakouts. Freaking A. All right, we are now at negative 0.7 R. Utilities are fun to trade, said no one. Wow, it is getting a little crazy in here. It's still going sideways. We've had several false breaks, 2 false breaks here. I mean, if I saw this normally, I'd be like, this stock is not treating anybody well. It's back down to the 65. It likes the 65 too. 65 might be where it's at, although maybe it's going to touch the 100. That would be great. All right. We got a strong bounce off the 65. Let's see if we can go sideways for a couple days. This looks decent. High volume in that day, high volume in that day. This just wouldn't be something. Would you take this? Write in the comments. Would you take this pattern? I don't know. I mean, you could buy a breakout over 975, but this thing is just horrendous on breakouts. But let's do it. 975. All right, so we're in on the third up day. I'm getting out of 50% at 10. What's our stop? Our stop has to be kind of at 9.15. So we're risking 60 cents, and I want to get out after 25 cents on 50%. That's not a good sign. Volume is very low. I'm just going to hold it. I think we blast off to the highs. So 10. All right, I'm going to get out of 25% at 10, and then we'll see what happens after that. All right, so we're out of 25% at 10. So that is, what was it, 9.15 to 9.70, 65 cents. So that's like 0.4 R win on 25%. So we have 75% right now. I do kind of like how the candles are smaller. You know, we kind of had this craziness in here, and these candles have gotten smaller, so it's more orderly now. Going sideways. Bounces off the 10. All right, we're looking good. I think we might have actually finally caught it. It seems like the 65 is where the good moves start from. Volume was a little bit higher there. Volume was high on this day after this breakout to new highs. Okay, let's get out of another 25% at the open of the next day, which is good. It opened at 10.20, so that's 50 cents. So that's like 0.9 R on 25%. Okay, so that would be, let's say 0.6 R on the first half. 50%, okay. And we're trailing it. Yeah, it looks like it's respecting the 10. It definitely does, but let's trail it with the 20 because it kind of had this big bar, came down, hit the 20 exactly. I like how tight it's getting. That would be an exit potentially, but all right. I think we might have finally gotten something. I don't want to jinx it. Ooh, did we get out of here? 10.12. We closed at 10.11. All right, we technically would have gotten out there at 10.11. So that would have been maybe 36 cents on our, so that would have been 0.5 R. So really we pulled 0.5 R out of this move. which means our running total is now, we are negative 0.2 R total. All right, struggling a little bit with this one, but I think we kind of got its number now on how it moves. Now, is it going to go down? Oh, no, it's not. I almost want to buy it here just because now it's obviously trending. And if this trend breaks, it's going down far. So let's buy at like 11.05 with a stop below this big red candle, which is 10.44. So let's risk, what is that? 60 cents? Let's risk 60 cents and see what happens. All right, we'd be in there. Yeah, we'd be stopped out there. All right, our running total is 0.8 R. Negative 0.8 R. Just not doing this one well at all. This technically was not a setup, but it just looked like it was trending, and then it just broke the trend. So what I'm really seeing is every time this kind of makes some kind of pattern that makes sense, it just changes it up. Back to the 65. All right, this is where we bounce from. Not going to bounce this time. Going down to the 20. Or to the, to the 100. Oof, it's taken a... Oh, man, I'm glad we got stopped out here. This is just... Yeah, this was... Started a trend, and you can see as soon as it broke that trend, man, it just... Oh, man, it just broke it. We're going down to the 200. Whoa. Yeah, we're not going to mess with it here. I don't think we're done, but maybe we're done. This was technically a pattern here, this little flag here, but I mean, all these moving averages, you wouldn't want to take it. Oh, man. This is getting tight for sure. Did it fill this gap? It didn't quite fill this gap. Bounced off the 10 kind of meekly. Be real nice if we filled that gap. I think we filled it there. No, almost. It's looking good though. I think I'm buying over this high. 1058. Yep, I would have been in there. Stop below this low at 986. So what did I buy it at 1058, low of 986. Oh man, 58 cents plus 14 would be 68, 72 cent risk. Okay. I think we're getting out of our first half at the highs. That's our target. No. Okay. What do we do here? This could easily just roll over and go down, but it's not, doesn't want to. All right, we're getting out of, yeah, we're getting out of half at these at 1109. All right, we got out of half at 1109. Sweet. So we got in at high of 1058, 1109. Okay, yeah, not bad. 50 cents. 50 cents on our 60 cent risk. So yeah, let's say we're at like 0.8 R plus on 50%. Okay. Let's see if we can get up above the highs. What are we trailing it with? Do we want to trail it with the 65, with the 65 EMA? I kind of want to. I want to give this thing room, but oh man, what do I do? Yeah, I'm trailing it with the 65. I don't care. I think that's the way. Or a stop below 988, our original stop. Oh man, it's going super sideways. I think we re-add 50% above 1075. All right, so we're back in for a full position there. Stop on that second add is below this low at 1028. All right, we are looking good. Yeah, all right. Finally got some meat. Now we know this thing is gonna just dump the next day. It's probably gonna gap up to 12 and then dump. So let's see. We're gonna get rid of that half ad at 11.90. All right. Well, we actually opened at 12. So we got rid of half at 12. So that's $1.25. That's pretty good. What would that be? $1.25, 10.75. Our risk on that was this low at 10.28. So we got like, geez, that's like 2 or 3R. Like it's like two. Let's just say 2R on 50% again. So we're actually looking good. We're at almost 3R on this trade, and we still have our original position from way down here that we are trailing with the 65. I don't even care. No, we're trailing with the 20 because it's respecting the 20 now. There we go. Ooh, it's just brutal. That's just brutal. It doesn't bounce at all. All right, that last part we closed out at 10.14. So, gosh, I don't even remember what our original entry was. 10.58. So that last part we actually lost like, I don't know, half an hour on. So, where are we at? Let's see. Let's say we got 2.2R in that trade. We are at -8. So we are at a positive 1.4R. All right. Doing great here. That's just a brutal. That's just like from the top. Oh my gosh. Not given. And look at how huge the volume was. Amazing. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Good stop out. I mean, the 65 wouldn't have helped us. The 10 was technically the way, but it didn't even close below the 10 before it just dumped. So, all right. That ad worked, though. That ad at 10.75, that was nice. That gave us 2R. I mean, that was maybe a little bit more than 2R. All right. Squirrely trade. Oh, my gosh. It's getting real nuts now. Huh. Main market's going up. I'm not seeing any pattern here. I mean, this is a flag right here. It's underneath the 50, but it is over the 200, so this might be worth taking. It's only 9 bars. Let's give it like 2 more days and see if we. Of course. As soon as I stop and think, oh, this is a thing, it's like, nope, I'm breaking out now. All right, broke out. Oh my gosh, this thing is getting crazy. Volume is going nowhere. We're in December now. December is usually a great momentous month. This was technically a setup right here. Kind of came back in, had not a great looking setup. This is just getting so choppy, which I'm not really interested in it. Yeah. Oh my. All right, I think we're done. It had a nice little flag in here. That was a good breakout. Let's see. In 2 days, you would have got 33%. That was pretty sweet. But yeah, that's it for that trade. Ended up with 1.4R. Gosh, were there any good setups that we experienced? The best one was probably this one right here. This was one of the best ones. This was a good one here. We rode that one, I think. This was a decent one. Yeah, I think we got in on that. But yeah, this was a good one, but we just had this really rough stop out bar. That was the kind of name of the game with this, is when this thing stopped out, it didn't stop you out gently. It stopped you out hard. It was just like, ouch. Its best rallies were from underneath moving averages. And sometimes stocks just have that. Like that, this stock is a buy the pullback stock. This was not a great breakout stock. Every time it broke out to new highs, so like here it broke out to new highs, chop fest. Here it broke out to new highs, chop fest. Here it broke out to new highs. Here it broke out to new highs. Here it broke out to new highs. It kind of did well for a while, until it just completely rolled over. I thought for sure that this was like, okay, now we're trending and we're going to keep going. This was probably a bad trade that I took in here. We could have saved 1R for not making that trade. But we did get out quick, which is what you want to do. I mean, this was good. This was good. That ad at 10.75 was clutch. That was a big brain move by me, if I do say so myself. This was probably the best looking, most Chris-like setup. Went sideways. As soon as it hit the 20, blasted off to the highs. That was the big brain move. And where did I get out on that? I got out here. So it could have held it for a couple more days, but then man, just harsh rollover. And again, what did it do? After it broke out to new highs, rolled over. So tough stock to trade, but that is the name of the game sometimes. Thanks for tuning in, guys, and I'll see you next time with a deep dive. If you like this, please subscribe, please like it, please share it with your friends. It definitely helps me out, and I'll talk to you soon.